Hello everyone, my name is Hassan, student ID, and I'm here today to present the application of AI in legal family court in UK. See, the aim of this project is in legal cases, those are they take forever, they're expensive, and most people just get discouraged because they don't know anything and they don't have any advice. These things are very complicated. So my solution is if we can have a chatbot, an LLM that understands the law properly to be reliable, it can take a lot of load from people and give better access to people who are less fortunate. And I want to focus my study on family law because in family law we have a few things: financial, financial separation, items of value, child custody. These things are takes forever, but they are repetitive. So I want to focus my work in these parts. In order to approach this, we need to be careful because if we go the regular way, understanding the law, it's very complicated. You have England law, you have Welsh law, you have European law, you have Parliament law, you have common law. It's extensive, and that's why you have lawyers. What other people have did in order to challenge this is three separate approaches. If you look at the literature, first approach is actual lawyers. They heard of ChatGPT. They said, okay, can ChatGPT do this? Can it be advisor? Can it understand if this contract has something to work on? Can it tell them, oh, do you have this? Do you have this? Give them actual advice on the parts that are important. The second part of literature are the people who work with old NLP techniques, like bag of words or other techniques, and they try to make them work alongside an LLM. They don't do much, but it's something they try. It's a new field. And as a new field, there is not a lot to go on, except for one, the third type. When there is a new field, there are competitions to make this field go further. And Coley is one of these competitions, which have a lot of good papers applying AI into law. In here, there are many usage of LLMs, many usage of natural language processing techniques, advanced ones, old ones, going against each other. And this competition is for Canadian and Japanese law, making it perfect to be applied to UK law. So I want to do a pragmatic research in order to apply what they did here, and it's going to be deductive. I want to use a, a mixed methodology. I don't want it to be just qualitative, but most of it is going to be quantitative. But in the middle, there might be some qualitative works. It's going to be experimental, and I want to focus on 5 years, 2015 until 2024. I think that's long enough so it can give good enough relevant information. For data, there are actually two separate sources: Cambridge and Government Archive. Cambridge, the dataset is ready, but it's going to take some time to get through the paperwork. And Government Archive, you can just get it, but it takes a lot more pre-processing to do. For technical overflow, I set it into four different parts. Getting the dataset, either it is Cambridge or from government, and then start pre-processing, making it something that a machine can work with, and also get some insight. Is there bias in this? Is there somewhere that we have more information on and some parts that we don't? And then we feed in into a model, a large language model like Gemma or Llama, all of these free versions, and we'll see how they work. We would be using some relevant document-based metrics like F1 score, cosine, recall if we want to do classification. And then if we got time, we can give them to lawyers to see how these advice actually are. I set my plan to be a 3.5 months plan. For the first month, I will be focused on getting the data. Either I have to get the Cambridge dataset or I have to download the dataset from Government Archive and trying to turn it into something usable. For the second month, I will be starting to use Gemma, Google's version of large language model, trying to get some insight, trying to get it use with it, work with the information, fine tune it. And then for the third part, I will be using other LLMs and trying to get some numbers out of this. And the last part, last few weeks, I will be working on writing it down in order to be able to submit. There are a lot of challenges in getting this done. Obviously, it hasn't been done enough in the UK and also all across the world. So we don't exactly know. But one massive challenge is getting the data. Cambridge dataset might come too late, so we might have to work with just PDFs you can download of the court cases, and that's going to take a very long time to handle. Another thing is large language models, just very large, it's in the name. So you need very massive computational power to do them. And one massive problem with LLMs is explainability. Why did it reach that conclusion? So in order to handle these massive challenges, I might have to annotate the data by hand, which I have to minimize, reduce the number of data I have just because I don't have enough time. I probably need to use university's computational power, and I need to use a standardized method in order to get explainability and make it understandable for others. And I have been working on this idea for about 2.5 months. During these 2 months, 2.5 months, it's been very challenging to find relevant papers who have some technical parts that can help me do this. Well, that's one side of the argument, which I have done a lot and learned a lot in order to handle. The other part is institutional. London South Bank University, and especially computer science school, as someone who's, in my opinion, not good at doing his job, handling the dissertation. And this guy has made it some of a chaotic experience for me. And I had to go through it again and again, trying to make it work pretty much on my own without any support because I have two supervisors and that supervisor just didn't do anything. And George says, not my problem, just do something for yourself. So I had to be on my own. But I think that it gave me a lot to work on and I'm stronger. So if you had any question, just send me a question on LinkedIn or email me. Thank you for listening.